I previously showed you how to replace a couple boards in the middle of a floor when there's a subfloor, such as plywood, or take for instance in the last video was 1x6 pine boards run on a diagonal. Now upstairs in this home, we've got an existing pine floor, but it's laid directly on the flooring joist, which is not uncommon to see in older homes where we are at. Some people think that that's actually the subflooring. It is not. That was actually the floors. And they still are to this day. They're just laid directly on the flooring joist. Now, getting into a certain time period, like early to mid 1800s, a lot of the floors are 1 1/8 inch thick. Then as time gets on, we get into the early 1900s. They toned it down to 3/4, but they're still laying over top of the joist itself. Now with this board, I had to actually rip it down to the 2.5 inches that I needed. Then I took a router with a groove cutting bit in it for hardwood floors. I used the Amana ones. So it'll put the groove in there just like it does from the factory of pretty much any hardwood flooring mill. Then after I've got the groove put back in there, I'm going to set the depth on the table saw again. We're going to cut the bottom of that groove off, because if not, there is no other way to get this in. This is the only way. And I'm using the Vacal 262 adhesive right on the flooring joist. Then you'll see me use the Tight Bond, the wood glue, and I'm going to put it on the tongue of the other board. And notice how I skip sections. This is where I switch over and I'm going to use the CA glue. So I'm going to spray the activator on the board that I'm actually going to be installing, and I'll put the glue itself over on the existing board that's already there. The reason I'm doing this, once I tap it in place, that's it. It's there. It's done. It's not going anywhere. I don't have to wait on glue to set up or anything else. Now, I did have to edit out a small portion of that video. Sorry. If not, you'd been staring at my ditch, and I didn't want you to have to look at that. Hell, people are paying for that on OnlyFans. I'm doing it over here for free and not even trying, but I want to keep that out of the video. And where this radiator got removed, that hole actually went into the second board. And I couldn't replace that other board. I mean, I could have, but there was no need for as small as it was. And I'm limited on joist spacing, and I don't want joints touching. So I did a small Dutchman repair for that area. And in a lot of these rooms, sometimes people don't know, like, where's the joist at? Always try to look and find where a joint's at in the floor already. If they're full-length boards, look for the nails that might be showing. That doesn't mean that there's not plenty of wear layer left. They use big nails with big heads on them back in the day. So a little bit of sanding and some of them are going to show. And I checked the wear layer right there in that spot. There's plenty left here to sand and finish.